Right now, a Portage police officer accused of abusing his infant son appears in court. How much a judge decided to set his bond. Plus, we take a look at a resolution looking to revoke Ridgeland Farms' breeding license, moving through the Dane County Board. And later, Wisconsin Secretary of State Sarah Godlewski launches her campaign for 2026, but not for governor. We'll tell you which position she's running for. And we welcome you now to News 3 Now at 6. Good evening, everyone. I'm Sarah Carlson. Eric is off this week. We begin with developing news. Cash bond has been set for the Portage police officer accused of abusing his 6-month-old son. Our Maddie Heimsch brings us to his initial appearance at the Sauk County Courthouse.
Officer Cameron Coronado's bail is set at $10,000 after facing a Sauk County judge and charges of child and domestic abuse. According to a criminal complaint, Coronado was arrested after his wife brought their 6-month-old to the hospital and a CT scan found bleeding in the child's brain. The injury allegedly caused by Coronado's physical abuse that the state attorney argues is a pattern of behavior.
He was reported as having a low frustration tolerance for kids, and the criminal complaint references numerous alleged incidents.
The public defender using Coronado's own history as an officer to advocate for a lower bond, specifically no more than $1,000.
Having served as a member of law enforcement himself, he does have significant respect for law enforcement officers and the justice system.
But the judge instead setting bond in line with the state's recommendation. $10,000.
The public does need to be protected against the behavior that we see narrated in the criminal complaint. And finally, bond can be used per statute to prevent intimidation of witnesses.
$10,000, I think that is a reasonable request.
The judge also ordered the man to have no contact with his wife or children. Coronado's preliminary hearing is scheduled for September 3rd. Reporting in Sauk County, I'm Maddie Heimsch, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Maddie. Now, if you or someone you know is experiencing domestic abuse, there are resources available. You can call the Domestic Abuse Intervention Services 24/7 helpline. The number is right there on your screen. And if you're not comfortable calling, you can text them at the bottom of your screen anytime. Well, you may have heard by now about embattled beagle breeder Ridgeland Farms. For years, there have been accusations that they abuse the dogs in their care, but now a resolution looking to revoke their license is moving through the Dane County Board. Kyle Pozorski talked with one member about what they're looking to accomplish.
Yes, Sarah, County Board Supervisor David Betcher spoke with me today over the phone, and he tells me constituents of his and those of other board members brought up concerns that the Blue Mountains breeder is abusing the dogs in their care. That's what really sparked this latest effort. If passed, the county resolution would ask the Wisconsin Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection to revoke the farm's license. The move would also ask to put the dogs in custodial care during the course of an ongoing investigation.
This is not about asking that, they be found guilty or that, anything like that. I'm looking at this more as just as if you had Child Protective Services coming in. You would be saying, during the investigation, we're going to put the children into protective services to make sure there's no continuing abuse.
Ridgeland has the right to remain innocent until proven guilty of the accusations.
My immediate hope is that obviously any abuse stops instantly and that the animals are taken care of.
Now, Betcher also telling me that the board has a responsibility to care for animals within the entire county, and that he, along with other supervisors, are looking at this very seriously. Now, the next step for the resolution is to go through the county's executive committee, where it has now been referred. Betcher thinks it will then move to a full board vote at next month's meeting.
All right, thank you so much, Kyle. In other news, a Fort Atkinson family of 4 lost their home and several pets after a fire last night. Crews responded to Harriet Street and found the garage fully engulfed in flames. The family of 4 and 2 people who were staying overnight made it out safely and no one was injured. However, the fire department says at least 4 dogs and 4 cats died, and the garage and home are a total loss. The Red Cross is helping that family. Well, turning to weather now, where the nice conditions continue and get better. Let's check in with First Warn Forecast, and Alex has the details.
I sure do. And if you want fall-like temperatures even in the forecast, look at this. By the time we get to Sunday going on into Monday, temperatures, the highs they're not going to get out of the 60s, or at least they're going to struggle to get out of the 60s. All our highs over the course of the next 10 days are going to be at or pretty far below normal. So that is something we're going to have to acclimate to after being very warm and humid and stormy. Storm chances, well, this Friday night just kind of sticks out here. We're expecting a weak cold front to come through the area, and that's going to bring us some shower and thunderstorm chances and then transition us into that cool pattern on Sunday going on into Monday. We also have to keep an eye on the fog. We had fog last night. We're going to have fog tonight. We're going to have fog tomorrow night. So when you see me next in just a couple of minutes, we're going to track how dense that fog is going to get overnight tonight, how dense you can expect that fog as we go into Thursday night, and also let you know where we at with precipitation for the year. That's coming up.
Sounds great. Thank you, Alex. Well, with all the attention on next year's race for governor, we have details on a new candidate running for lieutenant governor. Political reporter Will Keneally spoke with her and has more.
I'm proud to announce that today I am running for lieutenant governor of Wisconsin.
With that, Wisconsin's Secretary of State Sarah Godlewski is hitting the campaign trail to run for her third statewide office. She started her political career lobbying to keep the office of state treasurer, a job that she would later hold. After leaving office to run for U.S. Senate, she was then appointed to be Wisconsin's Secretary of State. Godlewski made her announcement today at the Madison Labor Temple, flanked by a couple of state lawmakers, as well as the first woman to hold this office, former Lieutenant Governor Barbara Lawton.
The best role for me is to be part of the team. I have flipped Trump counties. We know that how important that is up and down the ticket, and I've helped build coalitions.
Wisconsin's lieutenant governor is generally considered to be the convener-in-chief, with informal powers to elevate the importance of certain issues. Godlewski was thought of at one point to be considering a run for governor, and we asked her about why she's opting for this role specifically.
I'm hearing how people are being priced out of their homes. Nurses are working 2 to 3 jobs just to stay afloat. And I can't change that as Secretary of State. That's why I think this role for me is the best, being that partner that can position myself to best help solve these critical challenges here in Wisconsin.
Reporting in Madison, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
Also tonight, the city of Madison has a new clerk. Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway appointed Lydia A. McComas to the role. She previously served as Voter Engagement Division Manager with Hennepin County in Minnesota. Now, that county has more than 700,000 active voters, more than twice the size of Madison's population. And this comes after Madison's former clerk, Maribeth Witzel-Beal, was ousted after nearly 100 ballots went uncounted in the November election under her leadership. McComas' first day will be on September 29th. Well, the News 3 Now back to school drive may be over, but the work is not done. Today is the last day that volunteers helped sort all the donations from our big Stuff the Bus campaign. And there are still shifts available to help out this week ahead of Distribution Day at all of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dane County on Thursday. A link to learn more about how you can help can be found on our website, channel3000.com. Coming up next, News 3 Now makes a significant upgrade to our over-the-air signal. After the break, what the new signal means for you and what you may have to do to get it on your TV. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, today is the day. WISC-TV and Television Wisconsin have activated 2 new transmitters to help provide antenna viewers with a clearer picture of our programming. So if you haven't already done so, you will need to rescan your TV to receive the improved signal if needed. Eric Franke shares how the investment builds on our company legacy.
At more than 1,400 feet above Madison's far west side, WISC-TV broadcasts our over-the-air signal to homes all across southern Wisconsin. But for some, it's been tough to get that signal.
We realized through an analysis and an audit of who we were reaching across our entire viewing area that we needed to strengthen our signal.
WISC's Vice President and General Manager Scott Chastain says issues like pixelation and complete signal loss top the list of common problems that will soon be going away.
We want to reach as many of our viewers in southern Wisconsin as possible.
Morgan Murphy Media, the family-owned and operated parent company of News 3 Now, invested nearly $1 million to install 2 new broadcast antennas, one on Madison's far west side and another placed on a tower northwest of Janesville. Regional Director of Engineering Michael Strebe says due to a number of technical limitations, our existing signal wasn't getting to as many people as we would like. This is especially true for people who live in large apartment buildings.
They can't put an antenna on the roof, for an example, if you're in an apartment building. You have these little flat panel antennas. those will pick us up a lot better with the UHF signals that are going through.
Viewers who watch News 3 Now and other CBS programming over the air can now rescan their TVs to pick up the new signals. Chastain believes the project to improve the signal builds our company legacy in southern Wisconsin and positions us to better serve you, our viewers.
It shows that we're investing in this community, and it shows that we're investing in keeping people informed and keeping people safe.
Eric Franke, News 3 Now.
And these improvements to our signal will only be noticed by viewers who watch us over the air. If you watch WISC-TV on cable, satellite, or streaming, you will not need to make any changes at all. Well, to rescan your TV, though, if you need to, you go to your TV's menu, select Settings, and then choose Channel Scan or Auto Tune. We'll also post all of the instructions needed on our website, channel3000.com/rescan. Still ahead, Kids in the Rotunda is returning to the Overture Center. We'll tell you when they plan to unveil the season's lineup. Plus, looking for one last summer trip over Labor Day, how you can take advantage of some pretty good deals that won't break the bank. And finally, could we see the return of the rain this weekend or not? Alex is back with the complete forecast after the break.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
The Overture Center is getting ready to unveil the lineup for its second annual season of Kids in the Rotunda. The season announcement party is tomorrow at the Madison's Children's Museum. No registration needed, and it's free. It starts with a scavenger hunt for the kids at 4 p.m. and then that season announcement at 5 and a dance party until 6. Kids in the Rotunda is also free and runs on Saturdays, October through April, featuring local artists on the Rotunda stage. The 45-minute long performances are held at 9:30 a.m., 11 a.m., and 1 p.m. Believe it or not, Labor Day weekend is next week, giving people the chance for a final taste of summer. However, it won't bring the blockbuster holiday travel of Memorial Day or July 4th. AAA says their data for the Labor Day weekend, August 28th through September 1st, shows gas prices staying steady, average hotel rates 11% lower, and domestic airfares 6% lower as well. Consumers are looking for a last-minute deal. They won't be alone. With economic uneasiness over tariffs and softening labor markets, Katie Nastro of travel website Going says hesitant households have made last-minute booking a theme of the summer.
A lot of travelers this summer sort of waited and waited to decide if they were going to actually spend on a summer trip. So what we saw over the summer is a lot of last minute or close in bookings for summer travel.
However, the uncertainty has also prompted airlines to pare schedules from where they were during the post-pandemic travel boom. So fewer seats can mean higher airfares. The July Consumer Price Index shows airfares creeping up, an increase of about 4% between June and July. Travel experts warn they could climb higher after a September and October lull. Well, we have pleasant conditions. No need to go anywhere right now in the forecast. Here's Alex with the complete forecast.
Yes, pleasant conditions. Fall-like temperatures are in the forecast. They're coming as quick as Sunday, going on into Monday, and this whole 10-day period. We're going to be sticking around here with pleasant conditions all the way through and through. It's part of the three things you need to get out of the forecast. The not such nice stuff is that patchy fog that we dealt with last night. We're going to have some patchy fog we'll deal with tonight and then again on Thursday night. Isolated storms entering the forecast, and I want to emphasize isolated Friday night, and that's going to transition us into cooler temperatures that you just saw and also dry as we go out into the next work week. But let's track that fog here using Future Track visibility about 1.5 miles right around midnight. But as we get to 6 o'clock in the morning, look at this. Boscobel, the Dells, 1/2 mile visibility in Lone Rock, 1/4 mile visibility. Our friends in Mineral Point and 1/8 mile in Madison. Wouldn't be shocked if this projection comes true. We might have some dense fog advisories issued for parts of the area. Burns off quickly as we get the heat of the day to get rid of that fog with visibilities improving. But then we repeat it all over again as we go into Thursday night, going on into Friday morning, just perhaps not quite as dense of fog as we go into Friday morning with our visibility is 1 mile to 1.75 miles, not the overly dense fog that we are expecting tomorrow morning. And fog can really sneak up on you pretty quickly if you're high up on a hill and then you go down into the river valley or into a ravine or a low-lying area. That fog can go from completely clear to zero visibility, and you never know what's going on in that zero visibility. So just take it easy the next couple mornings with the fog in the forecast. Also in the forecast, really nice temperatures, upper 50s right around 60 degrees through and through, 59 in Camp Douglas to to 61 in Monroe and 61 in Madison as well. Highs as we move towards the end of the week. Thursday, mid to upper 70s to near 80 degrees, but just one caveat here. If we have clouds on Thursday after that fog, these highs may be more in the mid 70s, but I suspect few folks are probably going to complain about that because this is a big change from all that very warm and humid stuff and all the storms that we've seen over the course of the past couple weeks, couple months. Friday night sticks right out there. We could be looking at a couple showers and a couple of thunderstorms. Let's track those here. Future track showing a couple thunderstorms up towards Camp Douglas, Dells right around 9 o'clock. But I think that line is going to fizzle as it moves through southern Wisconsin as we lose the heat of the day. But we'll keep an eye on that. Some gusty winds, some small hail, and some lightning, certainly a possibility with that line of thunderstorms. And then I'm going to leave us here. Let's take this graphic full screen here. You might be thinking, well, gosh, with all of this water that we've had here over the course of the past couple of weeks, couple of months, we've got to be really above normal in the precipitation department. Really, not so much. Not the case here. Where we're at for the month, we're a little bit over 2 inches above normal. Where we're at for the year, we're a little bit, just about 2 inches above normal for the year. So we're not significantly above normal for our annual precipitation in southern Wisconsin. And here's that forecast. Once again, look at Sunday and Monday here after that storm chance. Upper 60s breezy. I know we were talking about sweater weather here. We're heading into the end of August, and these temperatures really, as I mentioned, I think yesterday, are closer to what we'd see at the end of September.
Yeah, and take advantage of it because September can be hot too.
Yes, the 90s can return and the humidity can return in September
Yes,
too.
it can. Thank you, Alex.
You're welcome.
Something about burgers, maybe?
Yeah, I think burgers are always good. No matter what the weather is, it's always going to be a good thing when burgers are in the mix.
That's right. We're not there yet, though. I forgot we have another story to read.
Let's talk about that.
We're going to talk about this first because it's pretty fun. The battle, and I think one of these dogs would like it, is to become the TSA's top dog. It's down to a pair of golden retrievers. Excuse me, Labrador retrievers. I'm a little biased. Alex, you can see, helps keep staff and travelers safe at Denver International Airport. And then Steeler, his name hints, it's a canine from Pittsburgh. The agency says, of the two, Alex is the healthier eater, and he likes green beans. You like green beans, Alex?
I do like green beans.
Oh, there you go.
So does Loki.
Steeler, meanwhile, prefers jumbo hot dogs. I say burgers since I started too early from 7-Eleven. The voting is underway. The dog with the most tallies will land on the cover of the TSA's 2026 canine calendar. I got to get one of those. And the winner will be announced next Tuesday. It is National Dog Day. To vote, you can go to the TSA's website.
And you know what both of those dogs would like without any question?
Let me guess.
Burgers.
There you go.
And baseball too, I would think.
Oh, yeah.
And those two collide next in sports. Burgers, some pickles, and more burgers. The Brewers' hard work paid off, and we'll tell you how next on News 3 Now. Back in the 1940s, a Milwaukee restaurant owner named George Webb boldly predicted a 12-game winning streak for the Brewers, adding that city deserves free burgers. I don't disagree with him. And thus, the best promotion in sports was born. Last week, for the third time since then, the Brewers did it, winning 12 games in a row, and today the burgers flowed. The restaurant is planning on giving away nearly 200,000 burgers, which, as you can imagine, takes some preparation.
25,000 pounds of hamburger, 4,000 pounds of onions, 500,000 pickle slices. I mean, not only is it the burger, but it's also, we got to have cheese on hand, we got to have fries on hand, we got to have other things ready to go too.
By this time tomorrow, we will be able to say that high school football is finally here. That's right, we don't need to wait for Friday for football. Week 1 always kicks off on Thursday, which means our game of the week will come early too, when two Titan teams face off, when Sun Prairie West travels to Verona. The Wildcats, they want their 83rd season of football in Verona to be their best yet and continue their Big 8 dominance.
These seniors that are out here have gone, 21 straight in the conference. They'd like to keep that thing rolling, but right now it's a day at a time, man. We just got to keep, chopping wood, and iron sharpens iron every day. The kids' mindset is that we're finishing the job and leaving no doubt, so that's their goal every day of practice.
Meanwhile, on the Sun Prairie side, they will be planning to ride their senior running back Brady Kaufman, who is on pace to break the Sun Prairie rushing record this year. Kaufman and the Cardinals and their head coach say they can't wait to get on the gridiron. And we'll come back to that later at 10. We had a technical difficulty there, but let's talk basketball. That's always a good thing. Giannis and Team Greece played Latvia in an international friendly. The Greek Freaks' first action in months did not disappoint. How about that fadeaway shot you just saw? And later he goes back to Old Faithful, dunking all over his competition. He only played 15 minutes, but you wouldn't know it by his box score. 25 points to go with 10 rebounds in a resounding win for Team Greece.
Wow.
It's good stuff.
It is.
Always impressive.
All right, we've got a quick look at our forecast.
And speaking of impressive, let's look at the 10-day forecast here. Impressive. Temperatures 70s, even upper 60s Sunday going on into Monday. Fall-like weather for a little bit.
All
around
right,
the corner.
thank you, Alex, and thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you back here at 10 o'clock.